Hello everyone, Kevin here. So I talked to my mother today for the first time since I've left. It's been months. It wasn't actually talk, it was a text. Wow. I was able to actually get some things off my chest, and it helped. It helped me, you know. It helped me. Pretty much, just said how it is, how things are. Not covering the truth. Which was I was lied to and manipulated by all of them in their society. I've been making videos for a while now, and I've been putting them out there, and so far it seems like my family, the ones that were trying to hold me back, are the ones who have been checking them out. So I've got an audience. But that really helped me to get that stuff off my chest. She kind of asked for it, opened herself up. They had been quiet for quite some time, and it's almost like out of the blue they hit me with this, but I knew it was coming. It wasn't out of the blue. I felt it in my bones. I knew it. And for what I've got to get off of my chest, I was ready for. I was ready to do that. I let her know how it's not okay to keep someone ignorant to any degree and conspire with others behind their back. My wife did this to me. She was one. She was involved. I can remember a lot of arguing with her, actually. It seemed like anything that every day there was something. She had to say something to try to ignite me. That's what a narcissist does. They try to get under your skin. They don't want you to be happy. They want you bothered by everything. Because when you're bothered by everything, you bring more of that negativity around in your life. What you're putting out, you get back. But I can remember talking to my wife and her saying, I don't know what to do, because I said, I know what's going on here. She knew that I knew at that time. Whatever the immediate issue was, I don't remember, but it has something to do with hiding things behind my back. And she said, I don't know what to do here. She didn't know how to answer, because I said, you got to be truthful. Well, that let me know. That let me know that I needed to go. Because what she should have done was stand by her husband, not by some bullshit fucking society that wants to try to run your life behind your back. So I knew right then and there she was not willing to stand for her man. And I knew that already. She has several opportunities that she conspired with the group and instead of her husband went against me. She didn't love me. She might want to think that now or say that, but she didn't love me. She loved that society and its secrets more so than the reputation of her own husband. Yeah, I knew I needed to move on then. Something had to happen. And then, when I brought up separating, she wanted me to leave. This place that we purchased together, and well, that's fine. It's fine. I didn't want to be there because even though I thought it was what I wanted, it was fake. It was fake because of the people, the society there was fake with me. They weren't truthful. When I told my mother all these things in the text, she denies it. She says, "What proof do you have?" She's the victim. She's always been the victim, and rightfully so. At a young age, she was, taken advantage of and sexually abused, mentally abused, and it followed her through her life. It was, I don't blame her for that. I know she lived a rough life because of that, all of the things in her childhood, all the way through to her young adult life. She dealt with abuse of some kind, many kinds. And see what happens, guys, is that's a cycle that carries over. What proof do I have that she sexually abused me? Well, I have it in my dreams. It's come to me in my dreams first. Why would one have a dream about having a sexual relation with their own mother? That's fucked up. I wouldn't do that intentionally. That's something that came to me trying to tell me, give me a message. I'm not that fucked up kind of individual, My kids will tell you what kind of a person I am. At least they used to be able to do that. I don't know. Now they're involved in this shit too, so they won't tell the truth. That's whatever, I can't rely on that for proof of. It's just that is trying to get attention off of the situation, and that's what they do. Somebody does that when they don't want to talk about it or they don't want to tell the truth. She was accused of sexually abusing my children whenever they were young. And I didn't believe that my whole life, their whole life. I didn't want to believe that. I couldn't believe that. I didn't think anything had been done to me. Why would I think, that would happen to them? Especially someone that had had that done to them Why would they want to carry that on? And then years later, accuse my ex-wife of doing that to my children, my son. And she lost her rights as her parenting rights. The list goes on and on. Till I realized that why I'm here. I'm here to put a stop to it. It goes no further. Cycle broken. That was my morning, guys. This life is not easy for anyone. But if you want to continue to live in lies, it's not going to get any easier. Bad things are going to continue to happen. And bad people are going to continue to circle you with their bad problems of bullshit. It's always going to follow you if you want to live with lies. What proof do I have, she says. I'm not asleep anymore. I know what's happened. That's all the proof I need. I'm not on here selling this trying to get my family in trouble. It's not why I'm here. But I'm here for everyone else who has dealt with the secrets and lies, manipulation. My mom tried to ruin my reputation, telling people that, I've been an alcoholic most of my life. I've been an addict. There's been many things that I've gone through. And I beat that. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed. I beat all that. I'm still here and I'm still going strong. And the more of this shit that creeps behind me, trying to nip at my ass, the stronger I get. So I want to thank all of my enemies, oppressors, I don't know, whatever you want to say. They are manipulators. Thank you for making me the strong person I am today. My wife has had her mouth closed through all this. She knew better than to keep poking. She knew before I left, she knew that I had been poked too many times. I'll give her that. She's got the wisdom to keep her mouth shut and not keep poking what they thought was a monkey. They thought they were poking a monkey, and they were poking a lion. This lion's not here to back down anymore and shut his mouth. Lions roar. But yes, my wife has not said much to me. She hasn't said anything. She hasn't tried the contact. She knows better. She knows what I think, where I stand, how I am. She's always known what I've thought before I was thinking it, or while I was thinking it. And I didn't know that. You know, they continue to let me live without knowing how things actually are in life. They allowed me to believe, you know, that I was alone with my thoughts. And then use that against me. Trying to ruin my reputation. Yes, at the time, I had bad thoughts. I did bad things. I wasn't doing bad things to people, but I was just living with a negative mindset because of constantly being in a battle and I had ruined myself with that negative mindset. I didn't care. Didn't care anymore. Didn't care what people thought. You know, I started acting like them. I started taking my aggressions out on the ones around me. Well, they continued to let me think that I was isolated in my mind. Making fun of the things that I did, copying me. Patronizing me. What proof do you have, she says. Well, see, that's just it. That's how they survive. So they do everything behind closed doors. It's a secret. They don't tell, no matter what the circumstance. No matter what the circumstance. If you hit them with a truth, a question, they will lie to save everyone. But me. Train coming, guys. Found a nice spot here on the river. Big tree. Nice spot to stop, have a little chat. One that maybe I should have had earlier today, whenever all this occurred this morning. I should have gotten a little more off my chest at that time. But here I am. Here I am now, living in the present moment, my truth. And what proof do I have? Besides me being living proof, living in my truth. I know what's happened, and I have no reason to hide things. Don't poke the lion. He will bite your face off. Don't poke a lion. Love you guys. That's all I have for now. Kevin out.